Picture a young woman walking into a Wall Street interview. Not in a power suit, but in a sari. She had almost no money in her pocket. She spoke with an accent that rooms full of executives had never heard before. And she was about to outwork, outthink, and outlast every single one of them. Her name was Indra Nooyi. She left Chennai, India in 1978 with little more than a Yale acceptance letter and an unshakable belief in herself. No safety net. No connections. No blueprint for what came next. 28 years later, she would sit at the head of a $60 billion empire. Chairman and CEO of PepsiCo, commanding 260,000 employees across the globe. She never erased where she came from. She weaponized it. This is the story of how an immigrant woman rewrote the rules of American business, on her own terms. Chennai, India, 1955. A city of heat, color, and ancient ambition. Into a middle-class Tamil Brahmin family, Indra Krishnamurthy was born, the second daughter of a bank clerk and a homemaker who believed fiercely in the power of education. Academic excellence wasn't encouraged in this household, it was required. From the earliest age, Indra outpaced her peers in every classroom she entered. But she was never just a student, she was a force. At a time when young Indian women were expected to study quietly, marry well, and step gracefully into tradition, Indra was playing electric guitar in an all-girls rock band. She was loud before the world gave her permission to be. The Indian Institute of Management in Calcutta accepted her, one of the most selective institutions on the subcontinent. She thrived there, sharp, relentless, and already thinking far beyond what anyone around her could see. Yet even there, at the top of her field, she could feel it. A ceiling, not made of glass, but made of expectation. In 1978, Indra Nooyi made a choice that would change everything. She had been accepted to the Yale School of Management, one of the most elite business programs on earth. Back in Chennai, this news didn't land the way she expected. Her conservative Tamil Brahmin family saw a young woman approaching marriage age, not a future corporate titan. Leaving India meant leaving behind the life they had quietly planned for her. It meant crossing an ocean with almost no money, no Western wardrobe, and no safety net. But Indra had always understood something her circumstances couldn't contain. That ambition without risk is just a wish. Yale wasn't a detour from her life. It was the whole bet. She stepped onto that plane not knowing how she would pay for groceries, or survive the winters, or belong in rooms built for someone else entirely. She went anyway. Yale was a dream, but surviving it was something else entirely. Indra arrived in New Haven with almost nothing in her pocket and everything riding on her potential. She owned no Western business clothes. Not a blazer, not a skirt suit. Nothing that fit the uniform of American corporate ambition. So she wore what she had, a sari. Walking into Wall Street recruitment interviews, she stood out in ways that made rooms go quiet. The skepticism was rarely spoken aloud, but it was always there. Behind polished smiles and careful handshakes, the unspoken question hung in the air. Does she really belong here? To afford basic necessities, she worked odd jobs while carrying a full academic load. Every dollar had to stretch. Every doubt had to be buried. The financial pressure was relentless, and the cultural isolation was real. But Indra Nooyi did not come this far to disappear. She had made a one-way bet on herself, and she intended to collect. Yale had sharpened her. Now the world would find out. Armed with her master's degree, Indra Nooyi walked into the Boston Consulting Group, one of the most elite strategy firms on the planet. She didn't blend in. She didn't try to. Her thinking was faster, her frameworks sharper, her perspective unlike anyone else in the room. BCG took notice. From there, her career accelerated like a freight train with no brakes. Motorola, then ASEA Brown Boveri. Each role bigger, each stage a proving ground she dominated. Then in 1994, PepsiCo came calling. She joined as Senior Vice President of Strategy, and the company felt the shift almost immediately. Her analytical precision and global instincts were something PepsiCo had never quite seen before. By 2001, she was Chief Financial Officer. The corner office wasn't just possible. For Indra Nooyi, it was inevitable. In 2006, Indra Nooyi ascended to the summit of American corporate power. She became Chairman and CEO of PepsiCo, one of the largest food and beverage companies on earth. Under her command, over 260,000 employees across more than 200 countries. Annual revenues would climb to nearly $80 billion by the time she stepped down. These weren't just numbers. They represented a global empire run by a Tamil woman from Chennai who once couldn't afford a business suit. Her defining vision, performance with purpose, was revolutionary. She steered PepsiCo toward healthier products and environmental sustainability years before Wall Street demanded it. She reduced the company's carbon footprint and invested heavily in global water conservation. She reshaped what a global food giant could stand for. For 12 consecutive years, Fortune magazine ranked her among the world's most powerful women. She sat on the boards of Amazon and the International Cricket Council, bridging worlds few could even imagine. Back in India, she became a symbol of possibility for an entire generation of young women. The girl who played guitar in an all-girls rock band in Chennai had rewritten the rules of American business, permanently. Indra Nooyi never erased where she came from. She carried Chennai into every boardroom, every strategy meeting, every decision that shaped a $60 billion empire. The sari she wore to Wall Street interviews wasn't a liability. It was armor. Her accent wasn't a weakness. It was proof of the distance she had traveled. Here is what her story teaches every immigrant watching right now. The world will sometimes ask you to shrink yourself to fit in. Refuse. The very things that make you different, your roots, your hunger, your hard-won perspective, those are not obstacles to your success. They are the engine of it. Indra didn't succeed despite being an immigrant woman from India. She succeeded because of everything that made her exactly that. Your story is not a detour. It is the destination. If this journey moved you, subscribe to Immigrant Blueprint, because every week we tell the stories the world needs to hear.